Hi guys, welcome to my channel and I hope you're doing fantastic today because I'm about to share with you how to make this simple beginner friendly bra pattern. So before we waste any time, let's get to it. So guys, before we get started, I just want to show you some small calculations that we will need for our bra. So I am going to take my bust round circumference, which is 34, divided by 4, of which is going to be 8.5. So I'm going to take that 8.5 inches divided by 2, and it's going to be 4.25. So I'm going to round it off and I'm going to just take that 4 inches. So let's go ahead and draft our cup. So my cup, the width is going to be 4 inches by 8.5 inch. And that is going to be a rectangle of around 4.85 inches. And once we are done drawing our rectangle, I am going to find the center point of the shape and then mark a straight line. So on that center point, we are going to go in by half of an inch. And then we just want to connect the point to create a cup. And we are done, guys. This cup, we want to cut it into 4 pieces on our material. So please make sure that you mark times 4. And then I am going to go ahead and add my seam allowance, which is going to be 0.5 seam allowance. So guys, now once we are done cutting out our cup, let's go ahead and draft the band. So for the band, we are going to take our bust circumference and then we're going to subtract half of an inch. So my bust round is 8.5 and I removed half an inch from it, which is going to be 8 inches straight. And now for the width of the band, I am going to take my hook and eye, and my hook and eye width is going to be, it's a bit longer, so I want it to be a bit shorter, which is going to be around 2.5 inches. So you need to measure the width of your hook and eye, and then you want to place it right on the width or for the width of your band. Now for the side, we are going to measure the cup. As you can see on that center line of the cup, that is going to be the side width for the band. Now, the next thing that we need to do again, guys, because we are going to be adding a hook and eye into our band, we will need to remove the width again of the hook and eye. As you can see that I am placing it onto our band. So I am going to mark the width, which is around 2 inches. That's the width of the band. And I'm going to remove 2 inches on the actual band. And now this part is going to be replaced by the hook and eye later on when we attach it onto our fabric. So now I am going to cut this piece out, and our band, it is going to be cut on a stretch material. Once we are done, please don't forget to add your seam allowance, which is going to be 0.5 seam allowance. And this is how our pattern looks so far, guys. So the next thing is to cut this on fabric. So as you can see, I do have my 4-way stretch fabric, which is a lace, of course, and I am going to just pin and cut out all these pieces. Now once we are done cutting out our cups, including the band, I am going to go ahead. As you can see, the band is on a stretch material, so each cup is cut into 2 layers, as you can see, and I'm going to go ahead now and join it right on the center. So once we are done joining our cups right at the seam, I'm going to go ahead and do a top straight stitch. And so guys, we are done. The next thing we need to do is to attach the band. So right on the side of the cups, go ahead and attach your band using a 0.5 seam allowance, and I am going to be using my serger also to sew or to connect the cup and the band together. Now that we are done attaching the cups with the band, let's go ahead and attach the elastic. So at this point, I am using a picot elastic. As you can see, this is how it looks. It is a decorative part on top. So I am going to place it on the neckline of our cup, and when you do sew the elastic on the neckline, please make sure that you do not pull the elastic. And I will be sewing using my zigzag stitch. So now this is how our cups looks once we have sewn the elastic. So now we want to join the center of our cup. What I'm going to do is to mark 1 inch and overlap the 2 cups by 1 inch. And then I am going to go ahead and pin the 2 cups together. Now let's move on and attach the elastic right on the armhole. The same method we used when we were attaching the elastic on the neckline, but this time we are going to pull the elastic, not too much, but just enough for it to be comfortable around your armhole. And also guys, I went ahead and I attached the elastic on the under bust of our bra, and also make sure that you pull the elastic just to sit comfortably around your underbust. So this is how our bra looks. As you can see, it looks so beautiful. I'm in love with it already. So let's go ahead now and attach the rings. So I'm attaching the rings. We need 2 rings for this bra, and I'm going to go ahead and sew a straight stitch to secure the ring. Now let's go ahead again and attach our strip. The length of my strip is actually 20.5 inches. So I am going to take the slider and I'm going to insert the slider right on the strip. If you want to know how to attach the strip, I do have a tutorial that is detailed on how to actually attach the strip in case if you miss it on this video, and I will post a link right on top of the screen. Now guys, I am going to attach the strip right at the back, which is the band. I have marked 1.5 inch from this or the edge of the band, and then I'm going to attach the strip right on that marking. And as I'm placing the pin, that's where I am going to sew a securing stitch, which is going to be a zigzag stitch or a straight stitch. As you can see, I'm going to go ahead and sew a straight stitch right on top. And yes guys, we have reached the last part of sewing this bra, which is attachment of the hook and eye. So I'm going to turn my bra and I'm going to make sure that I pin the hook and eye before I sew it on the machine, because it does have a tendency to move around. So I am going to go ahead, guys, sew this up and then show you how it looks on my mannequin.